it's Hannah.
Hello, beautiful souls. It's Michele. Welcome to our Flow and Grow
Fireside Chat. This is a series that we're doing on YouTube where we just sit down with some tea and the fire and we chat about some topics that we want to explore.
All hooping related and some topics that have to do with hooping, but can be incorporated into other aspects of your life outside of hooping.
Yeah.
And all the good stuff.
So watch, subscribe, and enjoy.
And give it a thumbs up.
If you think you know what you're doing, just like humble yourself because probably you don't, right? Like
humility. Yes.
Yeah, like you can definitely identify where your strengths are and what you're good at and what style you want to go towards and grow in. But once you, and I say this as someone who did this, when you get to the moment where you think you know everything and you don't need to learn anything else and you've like got it, you are just an amateur, right? Like
absolutely. Much more growth to do. Mm-hmm. And I definitely had that epiphany as a teacher. When I went into teaching at the beginning, I went in thinking I'm so badass, like all these people are going to be amazed by my skills, and I put myself up on this pedestal above my students. And because of that, my students had a really hard time resonating with me because I was focusing on impressing them rather than connecting and teaching them.
Yeah.
And so that humility, no matter what direction you're taking with hooping, whether it be performing or teaching or even just within your own practice, it's really important to keep in a healthy, adaptive, humble mindset.
I agree.
And that will take you further. It'll open you up to being more receptive to other people's talent and skill sets and insight. And when you humble yourself, you're being more absorbing of other people's energies.
It's going to connect you.
It is.
You know?
For sure.
Which is like, leads us into this topic, which we've been chatting about, but the whole issue of competition in the hoop world and how I think as women, we are really like indoctrinated by the patriarch, the patriarchal culture that we live in, to be competitive with each other because we're trying to find our self-worth.
Yes.
We're trying to access that. And the way we access self-worth is by comparing, is by competing, by saying, well, she's not as good as me and I can do this. And, and just, man, we all know it exists in the hoop world.
I know you and I have both been at that point where we are looking at our hooping skill level to validate us and for other people to recognize that and validate it for us. There are healthy ways to compete and there are unhealthy ways to compete.
Yeah. If you're in a state of mind, and I was in this state of mind for years, so I can talk about this, where you are constantly competing with the women around you and you see yourself as a less than because they're doing more, that's where you're at. Meet yourself there. Acknowledge it. Say, wow, I feel this way. I have this thought. How can I slowly, baby step, work my way through it? You know, you don't have to do it overnight. Like 10 years into hooping and I'm still constantly learning from the process. The change doesn't happen overnight, but hooping can really be a mechanism for self-growth and self-exploration.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching Hooping World and subscribe to our YouTube channels.